Hello again, everybody. Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday night, June the 11th. Actually, despite the nominal gains in the indices today, we had a very good performance on a lot of our stocks. Let's take a look at some of them. I'm still of the opinion the long side is the way to go. And although some of the boxer shorts have done well, we'll at least leave that on the side for now. You look at AGEN. I was shocked to hear that this was not a formal swing trade, although I thought I had put it out there. Apparently I did not. I meant to put it out when it broke out of this wedge here and around the 7 range. Here it is 938 and it's getting away from me. But good for anybody who's in it. I know a couple of us have big positions in it. The breakout occurred last week and you can see how it's running now. And today retested the earlier high from Monday where it hit 950. Today's high was 951. So we pushed through here. We should see 10, 11, and even 12 going forward. Those are my targets. Look at the long-term chart. You'll see that the 1, 2, 3 wave move could get a fourth and a fifth at some point and make it up to evens 13. B square is doing great for us and it continues to pop after this explosive move, the breakaway gap with the big volume. It pulled back for one day, had an inside day, and then ran. Another wedge, and it's run again. For me, it's got perhaps a little bit more to go. We could see 8.5, 3/4. That's my short-term target. Dang, I'm showing you this because it represents a lot of what the Chinese stocks are doing these days. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, and then a retest of the lows, and then another retest formed a big base. But an explosive move in Chinese stocks is taking this one almost vertical, with big volume trading 5.5 million today. Yesterday's volume was 8.4 million on that explosive breakup, and then filled with a gap, and today it went up again. The resistance is going to be around 11, 11.10. We should see that early tomorrow, but I firmly believe we could be testing 12 shortly, maybe even 13.5. Those are your targets going forward. These guys, yet another Chinese stock that had a big move today after breaking out of this coil yesterday. Today it really exploded nicely up 220 or 19.7%. The volume was the best all year pretty much, except for this one day here when it traded 2.7 million. Either way, though, I think we're going to really run a little bit further and maybe test 15, 13. And then beyond that, we have a potential of being all the way up here in the 19, 19.5 range. We'll have to see what it does. But right now, the base has been completed, in my opinion. The moving averages turn around, the consolidation, and now this move. EHIC, that's Ehai Car Services Limited, I believe, is also Chinese. Break out of the base, the explosive move, the little wedge, another pop, a retest, and then today it just went straight up from 15.5 to 18, closed at 17.97, just 3 cents off the high, and may very well test the recent reversal high at 19. If we get through that, look for a move to the 21, 22 zone. Support right now about 15.5. You don't want to see below that. Another Chinese stock that's going straight vertical. FANG, New Phoenix Media, popped today 83 cents or 10% on 3 million shares nearly. Important part was it broke across this line and may very well test the 10.5 range short term. Beyond that, I wouldn't be shocked to see it test even as high as the 11.5 range. So 10.5, 11.5 in that zone would be your next target. KEYW, well, this undiscovered cybersecurity stock is becoming discovered as it spiked in the last 6 sessions, or 7 sessions, to take it from under 7 to over 10 today. And a beautiful late close today. If you take a look at the 1 minute chart, shows that the stock has really been bought sharply higher at the close on big volume. I'm looking forward to see if it can get through this level. If you take a look at the declining top sign right there, in that zone, if we can punch through this tomorrow, we can very well see 1190, 12 zone as early as tomorrow. Stay tuned, this could get exciting. However, it has come up very sharply, and if it fails here, we could see a little pullback consolidation. Either way, though, I think the long-term trend has been broken, and I think it's going to be at some point a $14.5 stock, perhaps in the immediate future. Lake, this is a stock that exploded, as you remember, last October, came all the way back down to retest the 7-8 zone from the big coiling base pattern, broke out wedge, broke out flagged. Today it exploded for $1.10 or almost 10%. Volume was solid, although for this stock, it's a quiet stock. 378,000 shares is quite a bit of volume. The target is 13 going forward, and then if we get through that, near 16. Light in the box, big reversal today. Look at the low, 501, exploded to 622, it closed at 612, up 84 cents. That's a 16% gain and the second biggest volume all year. At this point, it looks to me like we're going to maybe test and perhaps even take out the 660 zone, short-term target and resistance right there, 650.60. If we can get through that, look for a move up to 7.5. MOBILEYE, well, this swing trade is really doing great for us. After breaking out here and giving you the swing, we had 1, 2, 3 wave, 1, 2 wave move, a third wave, and now the fourth wave consolidation, which is kind of a double dip. The falling channel that held the trend line at 50 and lateral price support, and then has moved up sharply. Today's volume of 9 million and a gain of 264 up to 50 and a half after reaching nearly 51 earlier today. My target all along was near 53, 52 and 85 roughly. But I believe that this stock has the momentum to maybe take this near 60. Stay tuned, it could be interesting. Well, natural health trend has been phenomenal. Ever since it broke out of the base right there, that one little bar right there, triggered this move from 13 and change all the way up to 35. And yet after consolidating the last 4 or 3 weeks or so, this coil was broken today with a pop of $1.44, 4.3%. Volume picked up a little bit to the best in several sessions. It's very well maybe on its way to 45. Mid-40s is my target. There's 10 points in here, folks. Stay tuned. Neophotonics, the swing trade we put out here, has been moving up steadily and nicely, not getting too far ahead of itself. And you can see it following this tight little channel up. I don't think it's done yet, and we may very well eventually get in the 13 and a half range, my next target. Well, OHG I'm showing you because it really is starting to get a little bit of momentum. With this channel up, it was up another 67 cents at 14% today, 1.4 million. Not great volume, but there is resistance up in this zone. If it gets through this 575 area, we could see a quick move to 6.5, even 7.5, 8. Onvo, I think we've got a breakout, but we have to keep in mind that the major declining tops line is ahead, and that would put it up around 6. I was looking for that today after it broke out, and we certainly had a nice pop of 40 cents or 7.5% on the 1,000,008. I need to see more volume. If it gets to this zone up in here, I wouldn't be surprised to see eventually a run at 7. Chinese KEYW, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and a breakout. This is one of my favorite symmetrical patterns. I think the stock moves to 72.3, maybe 77 short term. And the key support would be at the weekly lows here, around 60, 61. SIGM finally has exploded to the point where we feel like it's going to make a bigger move. I'm looking for 12 short term, maybe tomorrow. And if we get any pullback consolidation, eventually 15. Taser, well, it made a new all-time high, another one today, getting up to 35.95, but it didn't close great. It was only up 7 cents, but I did want to point out it was a positive day. And in the course of the entire trend, it's looking awfully good in here. I'm going to stick with a 44.5 target, followed by potentially high 40s. Turbogene been stair-stepping its way up nicely, and recently broke out of this wedge. Extended by 7% today, or 86 cents. The volume was strong, the best in a week and a half, and now I'm looking for a move to 15.5. And lastly is WBI, which had a tremendous intraday reversal, going from 25.29 to 30.20, nearly 5-point run before it backed off. It's still up 327, or almost 13% on 4 million. There is resistance in the zone. I wouldn't be surprised to see it back off, but with momentum the way it is, the next target has to be up near the 34 range. Keep an eye out. And that's it for tonight, everybody. I'll see you in the trading room tomorrow.